I used to believe in my country. I used to believe in what made us great, strong, powerful, moral. But then Donald Trump was elected 8 years ago, and everything changed. Morality, decency, honor, all were destroyed and repackaged into what we see now. This is coming from an article from John Pavlovitz. No, it's not going to be okay. I used to believe that things would always be okay, that no matter how bad the circumstances seemed in the world, I trusted that people will eventually do the right thing, that goodness will prevail, that the rational sinner will hold. I used to believe that our system of checks and balances would protect us from overreaching government parties and mentally unstable presidents and political leaders lacking a working moral compass and complete perversions of our system of justice. I used to believe that most people were basically decent and that this decency would win the day because our shared humanity was something that we were all equally interested in protecting. I no longer fully believe those things. I no longer believe that our leaders will choose country over party because over and over I've seen them pollute the system and disregard the rules in order to hold power, steal elections, and gain federal judges. I no longer believe the truth matters to everyone because I've witnessed too many powerful people ransoming off to the highest bidder, and too many people I know and love grow violently allergic to facts. I no longer believe that the American church is a source for moral leadership because I've witnessed the Franklin Grahams and Jerry Falwells of the evangelical right sink deeper and deeper into the putrid moral cesspool of their political bed-making. And I have zero confidence in those presently leading us to do anything to defend the common good. They're not going to protect the air we breathe or the waterways that sustain us or the diverse ecosystems that hold life together when there's so much money to be made off them. They're not interested in stopping gun violence or mass shootings because they profit from both the guns that creates the carnage and the fear it generates among their voting base. They have no intention of protecting marginalized and vulnerable communities from discrimination when they can use those very communities as props to terrify the privileged into bans and walls and wars and rally cries of send them back and America first. They have no interest in stewarding the full diversity of America. All they're doing is leveraging and weaponizing some fairy tale narcissistic nostalgia to keep uneducated white people more focused on anthems and flags than the desperate humanity they're supposed to be providing refuge for. And I know that because there is no integrity nor nobility left in the people currently leading us, that things are not going to be okay as long as good people are bullied into silence and numbed into inaction and content to merely feel bad and do nothing else. No. The only way things are going to be okay is if good people make them okay. If Christians and atheists and Muslims and Jews and Sikhs and agnostics and Hindus and Buddhists and humanists who are really committed to the common good realize that their strength is in their combined power and their unified voice. If political progressives, moderates, and reasonable conservatives realize that hashtag campaigns and one-day marches aren't substitutes for sustained engagement in the collective process and showing up unmasked and in unison. If moderate people of faith stop ceding the conversation about religion to the bigots grow louder about their religious convictions, and push back hard against the supremacy and misogyny and nationalism of the evangelical right. If straight white people decide that the rights of migrant families and gay teenagers and Muslim communities are worth pissing off their friends and neighbors and pastors and families to defend, these are unprecedented days in our country and in the world. Simply believing that our leaders will do what is right is impossible now. Trusting that everything will work out simply because it always tends to work out in the past is a fool's delusion. Having faith in the system when the system is so badly broken is willfully consenting to our own demise. No, positivity alone is not enough anymore. Only positivity and moving are. I want to come out of retirement and fully be optimistic again. But it will be a whole lot easier if a whole lot more people stop merely trusting the arc of the moral universe and will simply bend towards justice and decide to be the arc benders. I hope the people of faith and morality and conscience all decide that they will not leave the future to chance. No, America, things will not be okay unless we wake up and work and vote and fight and make them okay. Thanks to John Pavlovitz for that. The fact is this: Donald Trump is marching this country into destruction. With the trade wars that he's starting, the tariffs that he's putting out, the retaliatory tariffs from Canada, Mexico, and China, his plans to try to annex Greenland by force, his plans for ethnic cleansing in Gaza so he can establish his own personal hideaway by force, his plans on forcing Canada to be the 51st state by force. The fact is this: we're not okay. We're not a great nation. And no matter how many times Donald Trump and his supporters want to wear those stupid red hats, we will never be a great nation again. It's not because people like me don't believe in this country anymore. It's not because of people like me making videos or going on TikTok and Facebook and Twitter. It's because of one man's insatiable ego. An ego that is akin to Adolf Hitler and the hordes of conquerors in this world's long, sad history of conquerors. We can be a nation that stands up to what it's supposed to represent. The first step is removing Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and the rest of that clown posse they want to call a presidential administration away from our government. Now, before some MAGA out there wants to twist my words and say, what do you mean by remove? I mean impeach them all. Get them out of office. And honestly, if it were up to me, charge them all with criminal charges. Donald Trump, his book is gushing red with blood with the crimes that he's committed. Enough is enough. Donald Trump is going to rip this country apart, and his followers don't give a damn. Well, I do. My family does. And decent, honorable Americans do. It's just time now for decent, honorable Americans to step up and fight back against this tyranny with our voices and our votes. Donald Trump may think he's a dictator, but he is not. We have the power to stop him and his cadre of criminals wanting to turn our country into their fool's paradise of a dictatorship. It's up to you. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.